Hey, welcome to a Friday mead tasting, something I'm going to be doing more regularly now. I'm going to move all of my videos where I am, of course, tasting meads mainly to Fridays, and then leave the other videos during the week for making meads or doing experiments, stuff like that. But today's Friday, so we're going to be trying a mead that is pretty old. I use this mead, and it's right behind me, but you can tell that I've already drank some of it. It is one of my first few meads. This is my Pear Mead, which was, I think, number 3 in my series now of, the third mead I ever made. And it is 2.5 years old now. So it's been sitting for a long time. I only have a couple bottles of it left. I have another bottle this size, and I have a wine bottle left. But I'm excited to try it. I've already tasted it on, I use this for my What's New with Mead, episode 6 mead I was drinking, but I want to do an official tasting and tell you about it. So first things first, I'm going to tell you the recipe. The recipe is right here, and I used actual pears in this, and the thing that I will note early on is that pear flavor does not impart very well into a mead for whatever reason, into wine in general. And from what I understand, a lot of people actually use like apricot to get that flavor as well. So I'm going to try that in the future. But here's a little bit of it. You can tell it's got a nice color to it. This thing, I don't know the ABV on it because I honestly did not take a gravity reading for my first few. I didn't know. I was not that smart in that regard. So I don't know how high gravity it is. With my experience, I would assume this thing is probably about 12 to 13 based on how much honey to water I put in. But that's just a guess. You can see here, it's very dark. It looks much darker on camera. It smells fantastic. Just the aroma, like right here, I get a nice honey character, a nice traditional smell to it, which is great. Something to look for when you're trying a mead. And you don't really get a lot of pear smell to it. Get a little bit of that Melomel kind of appley aroma, but it's not super prevalent. So I can also say that it seems very, it's very smooth. Like I've tasted this already before, I can tell you that, but it smells smooth. You don't smell burn on alcohol. Yeah. Okay. So now let's go ahead and try it. Oh yeah. Okay. Super great honey character. I think the big thing with mead is as it ages, the honey character rounds itself out, but it also, it generally just like gets better. Like you actually get certain notes of honey, like the warmth, and I use that word a lot with mead making and tasting. The warmth of honey kind of pops out over time, and you get more of these floral notes, especially depending on the flower it came from. So in this case, I think I used Desert Creek honey, and it was a clover honey. So it was, it's got more of that clover-esque taste. Excuse me. I do get notes of Melomel, or of pear. Excuse me. Yeah, it's got a little bit of a. I think every traditional mead has a specific taste. I can't exactly put my finger on it. I think it's the yeast I used with this one. It definitely did not blend all the flavors as well as I would like. And so I think that there are better yeast options I could have used, but I obviously didn't use that. It's really pretty good. I would say that the pear flavor needs to be more prevalent. And I remember putting like 3 pounds of pears into this thing, and still the pear flavor was not prominent or prevalent. Part of it comes with when you use your pears. Are they ripe? Are they not ripe, you know what I mean? Have you like frozen them? Have you got the most flavor out of them? Also, how much of the pear flavoring did you put in? In this case, I'd only put 3 pounds in, and I put it in the primary, so there's a lot of the pear flavor that just like shot out of the airlock when this thing was fermenting. So I think if I had put the pears in the secondary, I probably would have had a better result. At the end of the day, that would probably kept some of that pear flavoring, which happens or comes from the aroma of the fruit, I might add. I might have just done better in that regard. Yeah, I'm very pleased with it. I mean, for my first 3 meads, for my third mead that I ever made. It's pretty darn good. And 2.5 years is really good. I'm excited that I still have bottles left because I'm going to go ahead and let them age, of course, and then I'll try them in the future. But what's important to me to relay to you is that you need to be storing back some meads for you to try in the future, especially your first few. Try not to give away all your bottles. Try not to drink all your bottles of your first meads, because as you get better, it's nice to have a landmark and go, where was I before? Where am I now? And again, this is not my best mead I've ever made, and I'll be the first one to say it. And I've had other friends try it, and they were like, it's pretty good, but it's not like fantastic, and that's okay. I have definitely learned a lot from this. The big takeaway from this mead specifically is that pear is such a hard flavor to place in a alcohol, in a mead or wine or beer, really. So there are some alternatives to adding to getting that pear flavor. You can use real pears, of course, like I did. I would have probably used more pears in this mead than what I actually used. So I probably would have almost doubled that flavor, and then I would have put it in the secondary because I want that pear flavor to pop. If this had an accompanying pear flavor alongside the really rich flavor of the honey, it would be fantastic. Like this, the mouthfeel on this thing is awesome, and the aroma you get, but if it just had some pear taste to it would help. So use more real pears in that case. You can also use some artificial flavorings if you want to do that. There's some, or natural flavorings too. There's artificial flavorings like, I have an example here. Oh, it's actually, how fantastic. I have a natural flavoring here. This is a Brewer's Best pear flavoring. So this stuff is, it says all natural. To me, every time I've used them, I get a more chemically taste than I would like. It actually dilutes the mead down a little bit and makes the mouth feel different. So I'm not a big fan of the Brewer's Best. I still use them every once in a while for things. What I like to use, and I don't have a pear flavoring of it, is this Amaretti flavoring. So Amaretti is something I use a lot. If you've seen the channel, you've probably seen me use Amaretti before. They have pear flavorings, and they are a little bit easier to control. So those are some options. You can, of course, experiment with other flavors to get the pear flavor out. For example, someone I think said apricots work. I've never tried it. I'm going based off their experience, and who knows, maybe that could work. There are a bunch of fruits that impart similar notes, similar flavors to a pear. So you can find those and research that. The big thing is, this is all experimenting. You might not make your favorite pear mead the first time, and that's all right. Keep trying. So, hope you guys have enjoyed this fun tasting Friday. I don't really know what I'm gonna call this thing yet, but I'm gonna try and do these on Friday. I will not always have one of my oldest meads. I do have a lot of meads, but I am trying to let some of them age, and I only have a few bottles of a few, so if I like go ahead and drink some of them, then I'm probably I'll be out of those bottles and never be able to try again. So I'll do more of these tastings with commercial meads, with my own meads, and even some that are just going. Like in the future, I plan on doing some tastings of like things that aren't bottled yet, so that you have some reference of how those are going. Some of them are projects on the channel currently, others are you know, things that I have done separately, and there are some meads, by the way, that I have done separately that I just do in my own time for fun, and I don't always record. So, hope you guys enjoy this. I'll be back, of course, with another video soon. There's the podcast you can listen to. There's also the videos on YouTube. It's What's New with Mead. You can check me out there. I'm on episode 6 now, I think, or 7, and so I've been doing a bunch of stuff with this recently. But I've enjoyed this. I'll be back with some more content. Check out the links below. Have a great day, and cheers.